Thanks for joining us today. We have a treat for those who are interested in crime and true crime. We have an interview with Barbara Butcher, who is the focus of Oxygen's new TV series, The Death Investigator, with Barbara Butcher. Stay tuned for more. Good. Are you excited for the premiere of your new show?
Thank you. I hope you like it.
I did. I saw the first episode last night, and wow. I mean, that's messed up.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I don't understand how people can murder people over money.
Well, money and power are the two great motivators for murder, I believe. Um, Even when it's like a love triangle, it's about power. Who wins? So let's kill my opponents and then I'll win. That kind of feeling. It's strange, right?
Right, right. So you get 10 episodes in the first season. What can true crime fans expect?
I think this show is a little bit different. First, being a woman in a man's world, especially starting when I did back in 1992, we got 2,400 homicides a year in New York City back then. So every day I could be guaranteed to go from one homicide to another. I'd see two or three a day. Then it was completely a different world. And so the first homicide I did on my own after training, I come up to the scene, there's a detective standing there, and he says, "Yeah, honey, how can I help you?" I said, "Oh, well, I'm Barbara Butcher from the medical examiner's office. I'm here to investigate the body." "No, no, don't worry about it. Crime scene will take care of it." I said, "No, no, this is my job." And he's, "All right, come on, come on." Okay, this is some bullshit, right? So the next time it happened, about 2 months later, detective says, "Yeah, sweetheart, how can I help you?" I said, "I'll tell you what. You can't help me, but I think I can help you because I'm going to go in there. I'm going to investigate that body. I'm going to investigate the scene. I'm going to tell you how he died, when he died, and maybe even who did it. And then when you're in court testifying on this case and the judge says, 'Well, detective, how do you know these things?' You can tell him, 'Barbara Butcher told me.'" And he went, "Whoa."
That's
And
great. I love it.
right, that cemented my relationship with NYPD. They knew I was eccentric, knowledgeable, and devoted to the job. So we got along real well after that.
Right, right. And like with the first episode of the series, and you're investigating the murder of five family members.
Yeah.
I can understand how you're so calm.
That's called detachment. I think that's what's different about this show. You will see what it's like to actually be there doing the work. You'll feel it. Yes, they're fascinating cases. They're hard to solve. You'll learn a lot about forensics, but you'll also see what it's like to be in that moment. When I come into a scene and I'm overwhelmed with horror, like the death of a child or a family massacred, I have to drop a curtain. Bang! The curtain of detachment. If I let my emotions get in the way, I'm no good to the victim. I'm no good to the family. I turn into a forensic, processing, investigating person. I am doing my best that I can for that victim. And the problem is, you do that all day. At the end of the day, when you go home, it's kind of hard to lift that. So if your partner says, "We've got to paint this kitchen, I can't stay on the color," or "Why don't you make reservations for us to go down to Florida and see my father?" Like, what are you talking about? Do you have any idea what I've seen today? Any. But you can't do that. I signed up for it. No one else did.
Right, right. And what exactly led you to do this profession?
When I was a kid, I had a dissecting kit, a chemistry set, and a microscope. The kids in the neighborhood used to bring me roadkill. So I'd open up the little raccoon and say, "Oh, well, the rib cage is crushed, the lungs are hemorrhaging, and on the exterior there are little squiggly black marks. That means this raccoon was run over by a car." And they'd go, "Ooh." So I started early. I worked in surgery, of course. I was a hospital director, and then I was bored to tears. I went to a career counseling service, and they told me I should either be a poultry veterinarian or a coroner, death investigator. I said, why poultry? They said, well, you don't want to get too attached to puppies and kittens, but chickens, beady little eyes, no one cares about them. I said, I'll take the dead folks, completely forgetting that they have families, that you do get attached. You do care. So, yeah, that's how I got my start.
That's fantastic. And you said you've been involved with for 20 years?
Oh, more than 20 years. I started in 92, and even after I retired from the agency, I continued to do private work, private cases.
Well, there's no telling how many cases you've seen.
5,500 plus then the consults. That was another 100 and something. A lot, a lot.
Yeah, it sounds like it. What is the most unusual thing you've ever seen?
Um, there are so many things that are wildly unusual, like a drunk woman coming down the steps into an alleyway and falling forward, and her head just fit in to the gate, just to the opening in the gate, and that her chin was stuck there, and her feet were still at the top stair. Therefore, she strangled to death in the gate. Like, how does a thing like that happen? I don't know. I mean, the precision of that is extraordinary, right? Teaches you don't drink and don't climb stairs. Um,
Right, right.
just don't drink. It's not great. The other thing is I've seen deaths where it's emotionally strange, unusual. Like a young man who committed suicide, jumped out the window. But when I got to his apartment, on the dining table, there were tons of greeting cards, handmade and addressed to his friends. And they had pictures on them. He drew magic markers and all kinds of things. And they were invitations to his memorial service. I mean, how the human aspect of that, it twirls around in my brain trying to figure it out. You want to die, yet you want your friends to get together and you want to make nice little invitations. Oddly enough, that case, he was a friend of mine that I only found out about a month ago. She said, did you ever do the case in so-and-so, the suicide? I said, yes, I did. She said, oh, he was my friend, and I got one of those invitations. Can you imagine?
Intense.
Strange. And I think in this series, you see the emotional stuff, the forensic stuff, and the families, the victims. You get to know them, and you get to know us, what it's like to be there.
Right. And I noticed that there's pictures and video from the actual location
Mm-hmm.
and pictures of bodies, and then we get to hear from the police officers as well.
Yeah, yeah.
And
I the original detectives that I did the case with. I go back with them and we go to the scene, we do the photos, we do everything, we show you everything we did. And these are very tough guys. But some of them, they choke up when they remember. So,
yeah, I think the detective did in the first episode
yeah.
when he was talking. But it's so interesting, and we don't often get to see these parts, behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be a really interesting series, and I think a lot of people are going to enjoy it. I know I will.
Oh, I'm glad. I'm glad. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. But I think people will learn something about it. And I'm very excited just to have the opportunity to let people know that every life is a universe unto itself. Every decedent has mother, father, sisters, brothers, children, wives, husbands. It's a big ring of people who are affected by a homicide.
Right, right.
And the fundamental unfairness of taking a life, well, let me not go there right now.
Right. I understand, and it's definitely emotional.
It is, it is. And, with having Dick Wolf as the executive producer and creator of this show, we get really good, a high quality show that I think it goes deep. And I like that a lot. And
I do too,
Oxygen
and
has been amazing what they put into this show.
yeah, and I can't wait to talk about it with people. And thank you so very much for taking the time to talk with me today.
It's been my pleasure, believe me.
You have a great day, okay?